Hi, and welcome back to Mindful Eating. So today we're going to expand on last week's practice and move into mindful preparation of food. So we did a mindful eating a piece of fruit last week, and this week we're going to get into the kitchen, we're going to open up the fridge, and we're going to prepare ourselves an actual meal. Oftentimes with our busy schedules, we end up replacing meals with protein shakes or energy bars and eating on the go. And so this week's practice is going to be about really engaging with our food and selecting it from a place of listening to our body as opposed to being in our heads. So I really want to remind you about adopting that attitude of friendliness, neutrality, lots of compassion. And this isn't about dieting or being restrictive in our eating or counting calories or being judgmental of our food choices. It's really about connecting with what our body is asking for in any given moment. And so go ahead and take a deep breath in, let a long breath out. Start to connect with your physical sensations. Notice your energy level and notice your physical cues of hunger or fullness. Giving yourself a number between 1 and 10, 1 being completely empty and 10 being completely full. Just find where you are in this moment. Ideally, this practice is not going to be done when you are at a 1 or a 10. So noticing where you are, maybe you're a little bit hungry, maybe you're very, very hungry, but you're not at a starving yet. And we're going to go ahead and go to the fridge and see what's inside. And as best you can, just drop into your belly, drop into your physical body and ask it, what is it hungry for? And so I'm going to go ahead and walk over, open it up. And I'm listening to my internal cue. And while I'm choosing, I'm also noticing if my mind is trying to choose something that's quick so I can get on with my day, or if my emotional body is trying to choose something that will make me feel better. You know, so you might find that you're in the freezer and you're looking at the frozen pizza, which is easy to warm up, or a pint of ice cream, which might make you feel better. And just noticing that through a lens of curious observation, of neutrality, and bringing your attention back into the physical sensations of hunger and asking your body what it needs. We are the only species of mammal that has such a broad range of dietary, almost lifestyles, identities. You have the very strict vegans to people that eat meat with every single meal and a variety of things in between. And so learning to listen to your body can be challenging, but with practice, it can really benefit you in the long run to listen to what your physical body is asking for in terms of nourishment, without being so strict with our identity to food. You know, saying, oh, I'm a vegetarian, I can't eat that, or I'm on the Atkins diet, so I can't have any carbs. To really turn our attention inward instead of letting our minds choose for us. And so I've chosen to reheat this delicious Thai food that I got last night. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And as I do it, and as you're going to be doing your food preparation, I'm going to engage our senses. So I invite you to open up the spice cabinet and look at the spices, see which ones you use often, and see which ones you don't use at all, and the ones you don't actually even like. And just notice which ones you're called to in this moment. And choosing the ones that you're going to use as you prepare your food. Maybe you're going to make a sandwich, maybe you're going to make a salad, maybe you're going to make some veggie burgers or some hamburgers or Whatever your body's asking for, I invite you to honor that and prepare the food that it's asking for. So while you're engaging your senses with what you're about to prepare, so noticing how it smells, noticing how it looks, the texture, the shapes, level of moisture, and I'm gonna place it on the pan. And allow it to warm up. And so go ahead and prepare your meal, remembering to bring your awareness into your physical body as you are making your food. So notice your sense of smell, notice your sense of sight, notice your sense of taste, notice the physical sensations of touch, and just be with your experience, whatever it is, through that same lens of neutrality, curious observation, compassion, and non-judgment. And then when it's all prepared, we will engage in a mindful eating practice. So now that we've prepared our food, we're going to sit down to enjoy it. But just by taking one mindful bite. And so to begin, you're just going to do what we did before we started cooking, which is close your eyes, take a deep breath in, let a long breath out, and just arrive in this moment. Feel your body, sensations, feel your energy level, feel your level of hunger, noticing where you are on that scale between 1 and 10. And then opening up your eyes and looking at the meal you've prepared for yourself, noticing the colors, the shapes, the textures, noticing the backstory behind every piece of food, where it came from, how far it had to travel, how it was harvested or processed in order to arrive in your kitchen for you to cook it. And maybe placing your hands above the dish, feel any coolness or heat coming off of it with your fingers. If it's a sandwich, feel it between your fingertips, notice the texture. And then picking up your fork or chopsticks or spoon, if it's soup, you're just going to dig in. So finding a bite, finding a morsel that you can choose. And bring it up to your nose. Smelling it. And then I'm going to put mine down so I can continue to speak, but placing it on your tongue and closing your eyes if it's helpful to really engage with the experience of it on your tongue. And then slowly begin to roll it around your tongue and chew it slower than you've ever chewed anything. And notice what happens in your mouth, what flavors are there, what your salivary glands do. Notice how your teeth move as you chew this bite. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and swallow, feeling the sensation in your throat and the muscles as you swallow the food. And then notice any lingering tastes in your mouth. Notice if you've got food stuck between your teeth. Notice how the food is traveling down your esophagus and into your belly. And notice if your mind is already picking up the next spoonful or forkful or wanting the next bite. Notice that and let that be okay. And just take a moment to check in with your experience, check in with maybe the level of hunger has changed, maybe it's the same. Maybe you want to eat faster, maybe you want to eat slower. Just notice all of these things through that same lens of curiosity, of non-judgment, and of openness to whatever your experience is. And I invite you to take a couple more bites, slowly. And to do this once every meal. Taking the first bite and extending a little bit of gratitude towards yourself for taking the time to practice, to taking the time to connect with what your body was asking for in terms of nourishment, and getting out of your head a little bit in terms of rigidity, being rigid in your eating. So that's all for this practice, and the challenge this week is going to be every day to take one bite of each meal mindfully. See you next week.